On February 9th, 2025, an officer with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office was on patrol when he observed several stone crab traps on the gunwale of a boat. As he approached the vessel, he saw a 73-year-old male named David measuring stone crab claws.
All right, whose trap is it?
We just found this trap. This trap we just found, and there's no name on it. That's why it's here.
Is it yours?
No.
Okay, then why is it on your boat?
There's no buoy. Well, because there was no buoy.
Well, it could be somebody that lost their buoy and now they're looking.
I just said there's no name on it. That's exactly
okay,
right.
Well, we don't know that the name wasn't put in the concrete. We don't know a lot of things. But it's not going to go in your boat just because you found the trap. It's not, hey, we found a trap. It's ours. We're good.
You know what? I honestly thought that that's the way it worked.
You know what that's called? It's called trap robbing. It's a felony.
No, I honestly didn't know.
Okay. If I dig through that and I find a name,
Sure.
then I can call the owner, and if they want to press charges...
I did it last week. I found 2 traps, and I called the owner right over here. I do that.
Good. Well,
Yeah,
and if you
her.
Can't find the owner, you leave it in the water, sir.
I called her, and she came over and picked them up.
Great.
Want me to throw it in the water?
Yeah. We don't need traps that don't belong to us.
If you don't believe me.
Okay, let me just check.
Well, let's. Yeah, I got it. I think it'd be better with the rope where it's not gonna get somebody's propeller. It's up to you.
Who's measuring these? Okay, well, here's one that's short. Okay, why don't you go ahead and measure?
And I'm measuring it from there to there.
So we don't even know how to measure it then.
Well, I thought you measured from the joint.
Yeah, to the bottom side of the claw. It's the bottom claw, sir. The bottom side of the claw.
You know, I'm not out here trying to violate.
I didn't say you were, but you are.
Okay, but you do sound.
Look at the size of that. Jesus. Like babies here. This one doesn't even make the top side. So I don't know how you measured that. That doesn't even have the top side.
Measuring it with this, sir.
Okay, let's see your measuring device. Your measuring device is exactly like mine. Has the correct size. All right. Another baby. Wow. Let's see. That one's good. That's why there's no stone crab out here barely. Jesus, look at this. Wow. This one doesn't make the top either. All right, let's see how many we got that are undersized. One. All right, let me see your flares, make sure they're in date. Can you open that up for me, please? These may be the new ones. .28, these are good. All right, I see you have your sound producing device. Do you have a Type 4 throwable? A throwable device? Can I see that?
4113.
Okay. And then for life check.
Right up.
Hold that. And your fire extinguisher, if that's around.
There's a T-Mobile technician on Main Street requesting you be en route to ensure you can get into the tower.
Yeah, let me. And, okay, good.
Should I throw this trap in with the rope out?
Sure. You got to put a buoy on it, though.
We don't have it. We don't
Then you can't put it back in.
Okay, well that's why that's what
You could put that back in. As a matter of fact, if you want, I'll take it and I'll put it over there and have somebody come by and get it.
that's what I was trying to do.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Don't put your hands in there. They won't. That's what I got big fenders for. Here's that. Alright, this guy's no good. It's got it empty. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
before the season.
Yeah, you gotta.
115.
The boat in the water in December.
Okay.
I guess I haven't checked it because it's in the cubby.
Probably an accident, no injuries.
Okay.
Hampton Road.
Go ahead and put an offense number in there and next available court date reference, possession of 7 undersized crab claws.
So you're probably doing a record check on me, and you're probably seeing that I've never had a violation for anything. Couldn't we consider a warning?
Well, sir, so no, I don't do a actual records check on you, and I don't go based on. It's kind of like that's how you do bad work.
Not
Is
really. I mean, but that the officers all have different opinions.
yeah, and the thing is, like I said, we're sitting here. After 2 seasons, I'm educating you how to measure.
Forget I asked.
And even if you were measuring the top, you still had like 2 of them that didn't ever make the top measurement.
Okay. You can have it.
I will.
Okay.
I'm going to take it. All right, sir. You're being given a mandatory court appearance. It's going to be February 26, 2025. I'm going to circle it right here. 8:45 in the morning. This is the address right here, which is at the Plantation Key Courthouse, just north of where you live, actually south of where you live. You got to make sure you appear. Otherwise, they'll put a notice, a warrant out for you for failure to appear. All right.
An attorney present?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, you can have an attorney present. Just make sure he shows up too, if that's all you're asking him to do. You're being charged with possession of 7 undersized stone crab claws. And if I can have you sign right here, this is not an admission of guilt. It's just stating that you know what your court date is, you know what you're being charged with, and that you promise to appear.
Earlier you said it was a misdemeanor. What did you mean by that?
That means it's not a felony. There's 2 different charges. Misdemeanor, there's 2 different levels of crimes. Misdemeanor, within misdemeanor you have first degree misdemeanor, second degree misdemeanor, and then you have felonies. That's where people do more. So with misdemeanors you can't do more than 365 days in jail, and with felonies you can go to prison for it. So you're being charged with a misdemeanor. That's not saying that you're going to go to jail. It's just stating that you are being charged with a criminal offense.
What were your options other than, I understand a warning, it was the lowest you could do as a misdemeanor? Is that the lowest you could have made from a judgment standpoint, I'm asking?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So we take our resources very, very serious.
So do I.
And it's very unfortunate that we're put in this position.
It is.
Because you didn't measure your stuff accurately.
That's not the question I asked.
Okay.
Mr. Sanchez. I asked, is what you're charging me with, is that the lowest charge you could have charged me with? If you decided to charge me?
Yes, that is. Yes, and as a matter of fact, I could give you 7 counts, which is normally what they request us to do, is do 7 counts of undersize. I'm not doing that because then you'd face 7 different charges of possession of undersized. I don't do that. I consider that kind of, I don't think there's a need for that. There's probably is at some point, but there isn't a need for that in this situation. So I'm only charging you with 1. And then, of course, being in possession of a trap that's not yours is a whole other misdemeanor. Or you can even carry it as far as a felony, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to go drop this off at the FWC station.
I appreciate that. And I will just say, I live over here in my neighborhood, and a lot of these people grew up here, and
I did too.
And they, what I did was what I thought I could do.
Well,
that was a good thing because
and die would be a better.
That's correct. However, each crab trap has the biodegradable wood. So it's supposed to prevent them from actually dying. So also, I'm just looking at your trap. Can you give me a quarter turn on that, please? No, just the trap itself.
There's a crab in there.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's another thing.
We're gonna make
and you got what? 5 traps, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And this one's yours also. Okay. If you can look at it and notice, there's 2 misdemeanors already. They don't have a. You're supposed to have an exit hole in there. That came out this year. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's fine. That one doesn't.
Yeah, that's an older trap.
Yeah, and you're not doing it. You do it for one, but you don't do it for the other. Is that even the right size? Yeah, I don't think that's even the right size. I mean, so guys, we can't just come out here and just like, we got to do it the whole way.
Just asking you.
I understand, okay. and again, I'm trying to tell you, it's not just.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to my neighbors. I'm going to read the rule.
Yeah, and we got to have the hole on there on all the traps. You can't even put that one back in.
Yeah.
So if you want, pull that claw out and measure it while I'm here, and make sure that you're measuring it correctly, like I showed you guys earlier. If I can have you sign this right here, sir. Like I said, it's not an admission of guilt. It's just stating you promise to appear, and that you know that you're being charged with possession of undersized crawfish or stone crab claw. Yeah, it's got to have that escape ring, and they don't really tell you, hey, you got to buy that escape ring, but the escape ring has to be of the size. The hole has to be of the size. So, and if you're gonna go pull the other traps, make sure they have an escape ring. Otherwise, don't put them back in the water. Because FWC can, and so could I. I mean, we could go around pulling traps. Got your whole name and everything on it. Hey, there's no escape ring. We can just go and give you another misdemeanor. We don't want that. That's not what we're going for. Lady, thank you. You had a question.
Yeah, I'm just curious, off the top of your head, what statute these rules fall under?
It's on there. It's a Florida administrative rule.
Okay, perfect.
And it's Florida administrative rule. You'll see it right there on his copy.
Perfect.
I don't have my glasses on, but it's Florida Administrative Code.
Awesome.
That's the statute.
The violation
But
statute,
then the administrative code is at 68B-13.
Got it.
Right there.
Perfect.
And you could look up Florida Administrative Code. It's all on the FWC rules.
Okay.
So we as law enforcement officers on the water, we actually enforce whatever FWC enforces, as long as it's within state and county waters. All right? Okay, you all have a good day.
In the end, David pled no contest and was sentenced to 6 months of probation, 36 hours of community service with the option of buyout at $10 an hour, and ordered to pay $798 in fines and costs. If you like this video and want to see more like it, subscribe to ArrestCam. As always, thanks for watching.